Hello everyone, in this video we are just going to enable the semaphores that we already implemented for all these task 0, task 1 and task 2 already running in round robin fashion in our real-time operating system. Let's get started. So we already learned what are semaphores. Semaphores are kind of variables which will help task or thread in real-time operating system for sharing the common resources among the real-time operating system. That is, let's say here we are just using the LED peripheral. Instead, let's assume that we are going to use the UART peripheral, that is UART 2 of STM32F446RE among all these tasks, task 0, task 1 and task 2, and all are going to use the same UART for transferring the data. So before using the UART in one task, let's take the example that the task 0 is going to transfer some data over the UART2 bus, and task 1 is going to transfer some data through the same UART2 bus. But before transmitting data from task 1 through the UART2, we need to ensure that the task 0 has completed the transmission or it is not colliding with the transmission happening in task 1 in the same UART bus. So this can be ensured by using a semaphore. So that we already discussed in detail in one of our previous video. I hope you remember that. And now we are just going to enable the semaphores for all these tasks. Before doing that, I am just going to comment out the periodic scheduled tasks such as task 3, task 4 and task 5. I am going to use only the round robin scheduled task 0, task 1, task 2. Here this is the way of enabling the semaphores. I hope you remember this. Here we have just initialized semaphore 1, semaphore 2. These are nothing but a global variable right over here. So here I am just going to declare another variable. Let's take it to be semaphore 3, and here also I'm just going to initialize the semaphore 3 to 0. This is just a variable, and this initialization function is going to provide the value right over here into this variable semaphore 1 memory address. So semaphore 1 will be made 1, semaphore 2 and 3 will be made 0. That's it. This is what it is going to do. And here for using a semaphore, we are just going to use two different functions. One is wait function, another one is set function. So this wait function, see here, semaphore wait function is going to disable the global interrupt, and it is checking for the value to be less than or equal to 0. If it is 0, it is going to loop around the disabling and enabling of IRQ, and finally if it is 0, we are just going to decrement that to by -1, decrement that by -1, and we are just enabling the interrupt global of STM32F446RE. So we are just checking if it is 0. If it is not 0, we are just making it 0 and we are skipping the process. This is what we are doing. And semaphore set is nothing but we are just incrementing the value by 1. That's it. Semaphore set will increment the value by 1, and semaphore wait will check whether it is 0. If it is 0, we will revolve around or spin around this loop, and if it is not 0, we are just decrementing that. That's all. So it is like a mutual handshaking. If it is 0, we are waiting, and if it is 1, which means it would have been set in the other task after completing, so we are just decrementing that and we are skipping it. So the collision does not happen. This is what the basic understanding is. I'm just going to delete this, and I'm just going to take all these blue, white, red. I don't want all these LEDs. I'm just going to delete this. before enabling the semaphore, I just want to show you the difference between enabling the semaphore and disabling the semaphore. So for that, I'm just going to, let's take it that we are just going to use this UART right over here. Let me just define and declare three global variables which will contain text such as task 0 running and \n, task 1 running, task 2 running. This is text 0, this is text 1, and this is text 2. So I'm just going to transmit each one of these variables in one of the task. Let's take like we are just going to transmit text 0 in task 0, text 1 in task 1, and text 2 in task 2. That's it. Along with this increment, we are just going to transmit task 0 running text through UART in task 0, task 1 running text in task 1, and task 2 running text in task 2. The program is compiled with 0 errors and 0 warnings. I'm just going to move to the debug view of Keel IDE so that the flashing is also done. Now I'm just going to remove all these periodic runner variables from the watch window. Don't want that. Now I'm just going to open the serial monitor or terminal software, that is Doclight, which I will be using always. Double click on this COM number and ensure that it is selected the ST link. Now I'm just going to run this, and now I'm just going to run the program in Keel Microvision IDE. Task is running, and in the serial terminal software all the tasks are running, but here you can clearly see there is some collision happened in context switching between task 1 and task 2, and also task 2 and task 0 also there is some context switch happened. There is collision happened between context switch, and among the context switch between task 0 and task 1 also there are some collision happened. So which means there is no proper handshaking between task 0, task 1 and task 2 for sharing the common UART peripheral of the microcontroller. This is where semaphores come into picture, or this is the situation where semaphores are required basically. So how we can enable the semaphores? Let's use the common methodology, that is before entering or using the UART peripheral, you can just I can make this as semaphore 0. So here we are waiting for semaphore 0, and we are setting the semaphore 1, and here we are waiting for semaphore 1 and we are setting this semaphore 2, and obviously here we are waiting for semaphore 2 and we are setting the semaphore 0. So we don't want to cover this increment variable because we are sharing only the UART peripheral. So you can skip this incrementing operation out of the semaphore loop. Let's consider this is the loop, wait and set is the semaphore loop, and in between the semaphore loop we have added only the UART peripheral. So here you can clearly see we have just added the semaphore wait of semaphore 0 before using the UART peripheral inside task 0, and after using it we are just setting the semaphore 1 using semaphore set function. So the semaphore wait, as we saw before, this is just going to spin around if the semaphore value is 0, and if it is set, we are just going to decrement the value, and the semaphore set will obviously increment the semaphore value passed by 1. This is what is going to happen internally. So here we are setting the semaphore 1 value to 1, and in task 1 we are just checking for the semaphore value of semaphore 1 to be 1. If it is 1, we are clearing it. If it is not 1, which means the task 0 has not yet completed the usage of UART 2. So here we are not going to implement the UART transfer in task 1 until the task 0 completes. So this is like a mutual understanding between each task in this real-time operating system or the scheduler running. So this is what happens internally. And in task 2 also, you can clearly see we are waiting for semaphore 2 and we are setting the semaphore 0. So after this, task 1 will not run. This is what is going to happen. So now I'm just going to build this and I'm going to debug view. I'm going to clear everything in Doclight serial terminal software. I'm running this. Now when I run this in serial terminal and when I stop this, you can clearly see there is no collision happening in the serial transmission shared by all the tasks in real-time operating system or the scheduler developed by us. You can clearly see there is no collision happening in the UART transmission. So thus we successfully implemented semaphores for all the task 0, task 1 and task 2 in our scheduler by mutual understanding. That is, we have created semaphore with mutex for every task in our scheduler. So I hope you understood how semaphores help us to share common peripherals or variables in real-time operating system in this particular video. See you in the next video. Thanks for watching.